Jabari's on the show. It's got to be a winning Wednesday. Let's do it, folks. Good evening. Welcome to Last Minute Betting with the Sports Nuts. Brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company in the universe. Yes, there's sports betting on Mars. I swear. Hey, you know what? You want to find out how to get the optimizer free for 2 months? Mike will tell you. Tell him, Mike.
Yeah, real simple, Bob. Email me, Mike at oddsjam.com or Bob at oddsjam.com, and we will fill you in on a simple process that you may be able to do and get a couple of months free using OddsJam. So simple email, we will hook you up, and let's make it happen.
Tell them about the partner program real quick, Mike.
Yeah, get 50%. Get 50% of any revenue generated by you sharing those links. Sorry, I delayed there. I had something going on. I'm trying to get bets in at the same time. But anyway, OddsJam Affiliate Program. Great stuff. Great stuff. Get signed up. Make yourself some money.
There you go. There you go. Jabari's here. Welcome, Jabari, who's here. Just Incredible Fantasy. Hey, what's up, Justin? How are you doing?
What is going on? Thanks for tuning in.
I've got to do something here real quick because we've got the BMW Championship picks. I've got them right here, folks. So hang on a second. The golf gurus, Tony and I. And here they are. You ready, Jabari? McIlroy, Cantlay, Hovland, Schauffele, and Morikawa outrights. Top 5, Rory. Top 10, Scotty, Rahm, Cantlay, and Schauffele. Top 20, Morikawa, Spieth, Glover, Burns, and Grillo. There are some minus 150s in there and a minus 140. But we decided to make it to where you can win some money. And that's what this is all about. Betting golf is very tough, Jabari and Mike. I just want you guys to know that.
Yeah, it is.
It definitely is. That's why you don't see me betting it a whole lot.
Justin has a money line parlay. Here we go. Reds, Astros money line. And then Braves minus 1.5 and Dodgers money line. Do I have a chance? Honestly, I'm on 3 of those games.
Well, I mean, the Reds screwed us last night, Bob, unfortunately. So you hate going to them. I would definitely lean towards the Rays in that spot. Houston would probably roll with that. And definitely Braves minus 1.5 is looking solid. So, yeah, I mean, I think you got a chance for sure.
But no, he's got the Astros money line.
Right, Astros and Reds money line, Braves minus 1.5, and Dodgers money line. So, interesting game there with Houston and Miami. Verlander, Luzardo, definitely a good pitcher. These two teams have split so far. Miami had won 3 out of 4, so it's not as if Miami's been playing terrible. So that one's a little iffy. I'm not going to lie. That one's a little iffy, but
I'm gonna trust Verlander on the mound. I'm sorry.
I think so. I think we could trust in him. Luzardo definitely has shown good signs of being a really good pitcher, but yeah, we'll trust in Verlander and see what happens.
So I saw the weirdest inside the park home run that I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, Matt, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but really, Jabari, it was hit into right field. It hit high on the right field wall, bounced off, and then, to the left, as you're going to center field, there's the bullpens there, and also other stands. It hit the top of the wall and then bounced back into play and had a spin on it. It went right past the center fielder. The guy got an inside the park home run standing up, like not even close. Never seen a bounce like that. at all. And Ray, who was on our show last night, is a Giants fan.
So he was excited.
he was bumming. One of his big, said Reds money line is a lock.
Yeah, I mean, Abbott's on the mound tonight, so you got to trust in them. Last night with Ashcraft on the mound, not as comfortable with them. And Bob, you cost our parlay, but
I know he was Ashcraft last night. I know.
Yeah, he was. He was. So tonight, yes, I would try, because Syndergaard, while he's been okay since he's joined Cleveland, he's still a shell of his old self, and I think that Cincinnati can get to him offensively. So I would agree with your friend there. Cincinnati is pretty close to a lock tonight.
Okay, so here's the deal. We do this show live. There's no scripting or anything. Mike just set me up for that punchline. Really, really good. You should do that more often. Okay.
No, I'll have to make sure that I pick a game that Ashcraft is pitching again to set you up for that one.
All right. Let's move on. We got to put a parlay together, and I'm not going first tonight. I've been going first lately. It hasn't worked. And it's not me whose leg loses all the time.
My leg's been hot.
Everybody.
We've been taking turns.
Well, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jabari.
We've been taking turns.
Mike wants to take all the credit here. How
I'm just dishing out to you what you dish out to me. Only I made sure that what you dished out to me is aged a little bit when I dished it out. So, that's all I'm saying there, man. That's all I'm saying. But hey, let's stop it now. Let's get a parlay together. Nothing but good vibes. All right.
Okay. Only thing I know.
Vibes, fingers crossed.
Only thing I know about aging is that Glenn Fittich Scotch ages very well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. All right, I'm gonna go ahead.
Like some scotch. Now you know.
Scotch, nothing like scotch. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. And Mike, if you'd like to start us off here tonight, I'm gonna let you start us off.
I'm going to, Bob. I'm going to jump into that Astros Marlins game, and looking at that matchup, I think I'm gonna roll with a Nerfy in that.
I figured that was coming.
Yeah. We went to it last night too. So tonight, though, I'm even more confident in this matchup. I love Verlander and Luzardo on the mound tonight. So let's roll with that.
Okay.
With Cueto on the mound last night, I told you I was a little nervous, but we rolled with it and it hit luckily. But tonight it should be good.
Okay. Jabari, what have you got?
I'm still trying to decide between my two. I'm trying to decide if I want to roll with Kevin Gausman on the mound and take him over the Phillies at -140, or if I double down on what I took last night, which is Braves -1.5. We took that yesterday. The Yankees just stink. It's just that simple. And I think I'm gonna take the Braves -1.5 still.
I think that's a great bet because
it is plus money.
It's also one of the picks in my video.
Good.
So, there you go. We'll
I have that paired with the Houston Nerfy on Bovada, so expecting that to cash pretty easily today.
Okay. All right. So now it's up to me. Now, here you can talk me out of this if you want to.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Dodgers on the run line, -1.5. I'm willing to go money line, but that's not what I want. I want Dodgers run line -1.5. Anybody got a problem with that?
I mean, 5 of their last 6 wins have been by that run line. In fact, their last 2 games, 4 games actually, they've hit that run line. So, I mean, it's not as crazy as it sounds.
Last time you said that one game that they lost or didn't cover the -1.5 was a pick that I made for a
great.
parlay.
Well, then it sounds like this is bad news here, man, because it all lines up. And with Miley on the mound, you just never know. Milwaukee, definitely a good team. You know they're going to be looking to bounce back after the loss last night. And before that, you got to remember, they just popped off 4 in a row themselves. They'd won. So they were kind of due for a loss. So hey, it's your pick. Not sure I like run line. Money line.
Yeah, the money line. I like the run line. The best thing about this is the Brewers don't put up a lot of runs. I think they're 21st in the league as far as runs. So, they're not going to put up a ton of runs. They get a good bit on base, but they're not putting up a lot of runs.
Just Incredible says I've got $150 on Dodgers -1.5.
Yeah, you're a bold man for that.
You're bold. Hey, but here's the thing that you gotta like with Miley. How deep does he go? This Dodgers team, they're gonna want to get to that. If they get anything off of Miley, that's great because this team can get you late inning. That's the only confidence I have with your -1.5, Bob. Right. Is this Dodgers team could get that late even.
Well, and let's remember one thing: the Dodgers get to bullpens late. Okay.
Yes, they do.
That happens. So whatever the case may be, we're riding with it, and we've got a Nerfy in the Astros Marlins game. We've got Braves -1.5 and Dodgers -1.5. And by the way, those two picks are in my video today, Jabari. So we'll see how that happens.
That's a bold one, Bob. We'll roll with it. I'm gonna say we can roll with it. It's your pick. The Dodgers is 6 inning and beyond. You saw last night that was a 1-1 game, 6 inning rolls around Dodgers. Kaboom, 5 runs. That's the way the Dodgers can be. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, there's Justin says the same thing. We'll see what happens. Agreed.
Okay,
you're bold. That's all I'm saying. You're a very bold man.
For the parlay, it's okay as a single bet. Justin, yes, you are super bold. Hey, if that cashes though, bro, scared money don't make money. I get that. So good for you.
I'm glad you said bold man and not bald man. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, that's obvious there. So I'm sure the people have noticed as soon as they turned on the stream. It's the first thing that hits them.
It's nothing but a head. Oh, it's okay. I can handle it. All right. I'm going to put this together, Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen real quick. Just scan the positive EV page and see what is out here. Usually we find some late flip plays. Let's see what I got going on. I'll turn my recommended filters on first, see what pops up, see what I can actually bet on. First half total runs in that Guardians-Reds game. I'll continue to scan here. There's some football games that we're not going to touch preseason. One of them's a regular season game. Let me turn my filters off, see what else is out here. Nothing really standing out that I'm going to hit right now, but I'm sure I'll find something. All right, so not opposed to this. A Yurfie in the Red Sox Nationals game, +100 on BetMGM. Looks like we've got several books actually favoring this to hit. Paxton and Gore on the mound. Paxton pretty good, but with Gore on the mound, it may end up being Boston. So I would roll with this Yurfie in this game. I wouldn't want to touch a Nerfie because that Boston lineup, that top of the order for them can be scary, man, at times. So, especially with Devers there and that 3-hole Turner's pretty solid. So I like it. I'm gonna hit this for half a unit.
Okay.
I'm gonna back you on the Yurfie. I still probably wouldn't touch the Nerfie either. James Paxton sitting at 11-4 for Nerfies on the season. McKenzie at 18-5. Nationals give it up 68% of the time. Sorry, they don't allow runs in the first inning 68% of the time, and Red Sox 67% of the time. So you're kind of on the fence, really. And that's probably why the odds are about even. But the lineup, your front four are going to be pretty good. So
yeah, we'll see what happens there. We'll go light on that one. Again, I lean towards it, I guess, but definitely not one that I had that I was looking at. Definitely not touching Yankees Braves. Although the pitching matchup does seem like, hey, maybe there is nerfy material there, kind of, but not sure. Charlie Morton, you never know with him. And, of course, the Braves offense, I'm good. Even with Vasquez on the mound for the Yankees, I'm not touching it.
Okay. Your text is sent. You've got that. It's $25.
I do like this Yankees over 3.5 team total, though. I do think they'll get some runs against Morton.
Okay. Jays and Phillies under 8 runs. What do you guys think?
Jays Phillies under 8 runs?
Yeah.
Kind of
like
Gausman. Yeah, on the mound. I don't think they both give up, a ton. It's not the worst thing.
Okay.
Well, no, I would take that. I think.
Okay.
I would take that.
The line is actually 7.5 right now.
Okay, so half a point. Yeah,
yeah, half a run. All right. I got questions here.
Then if it lands on 8 on the dot, at least you don't lose. You got to push.
I've got questions here before Jabari and I get to prize picks. One in MLB and one in NFL. Okay, you both can answer one at a time. We'll start with Jabari. Jabari, McClanahan now out for the year. Going to have Tommy John surgery for the Tampa Bay Rays. This is a huge blow, especially since the trade deadline has passed. And you're talking about a guy who had 11 wins. Does this now put Baltimore as the front runner, not only in that division, but in that league?
In my opinion, yes. You still have the Rangers coming in hot. They're still in second. They're 2 games behind. But with the remaining schedule that the Rays have, hold on, we just talked about this yesterday. With the remaining schedule that they have, I don't think it'll be a cakewalk. They still have to play the Twins. They got to play Baltimore 4 more games, the Angels, Toronto, Boston again, then Toronto to finish out the season. So there's no cakewalk from here on for them. So, we're going to see. Obviously, him not being in the pen anymore, yes, that is a serious blow to them. So that'll be the biggest thing to focus on. But if they can overcome that, then the hitting should be there.
Big loss, in my opinion. You're talking about a guy, 11-2. He's one of their, he's pretty well, they're shut down. Like, if you're in a losing streak and he's on the mound, he's one of them guys that stops losing streaks.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, any thoughts real quick?
On Baltimore, they're set up pretty good. I definitely want to say, though, with what I know it's one game, but with what you saw out of Flaherty last night, he's going to have to be better for them down the stretch. You can't have games like, they got smoked by the Padres last night, and that all started with him setting the tone there with that horrible first
Padres
inning.
scored 5 runs in the first inning.
So that's a lot on him too. He's going to have to be a lot better, and that's why they went out and got him, was for this stretch here. Now they're looking even better. Before they got him, McClanahan, we knew he was going to be out a while. Now it's official, he's out. So Baltimore, that's why they went out and got Flaherty. They have to get quality starts out of him. You can't have that type of start.
Okay, now I'm going to go on to my NFL question. Who do you guys think, and I heard this today, and I totally agree with what their answer was, but who do you think out of all the NFL teams has the best running back room. Meaning their crop of running backs that are in that room with the coaches. Who do you think's got the best set of running backs out there?
I'm
If you,
gonna give
go
it
ahead.
to you in a trio. My first nomination would be the Cowboys.
Okay.
Getting rid of Zeke was the best thing that they did. It was time for him to go. He was not running efficiently anymore. Basically, time for him to go. Deuce Vaughn looking very good. He was very good in college. He's reincarnation of Darren Sproles. He should be okay. And then you have Tony Pollard. He was a breakout star last year. Very good. Secondly, the Niners. Yes. Yes, my Niners, but I'll put them second. Only reason I'll say second is because we've paid McCaffrey a lot of money and kept Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell is going to turn into a power back now. So we're going to have to see how he fits with just being a power back. So they're going to run a lot of I for him. Third, I'll be honest. Well, Kamara is suspended for 5 games, so
Okay.
I don't know, but those are my favorite two.
Mike, now you go. You didn't hit either one of the teams that they
Well,
said.
I agree with the ones he said. I mean, San Francisco, you're certainly putting up there. One that's kind of maybe under the radar a little bit. I think Green Bay, should get a little bit of love with some of the backs that they have. You got an AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones. So they've had some pretty good. They've done pretty well drafting and developing running backs for a little bit now. So I think you got to give Green Bay a little bit of credit too. Again, not saying they're top, but just a team that we didn't mention, probably worth mentioning. And then, I mean, again, you're saying as a whole running back unit. So
I wouldn't give it to him personally.
Okay. All right. So what about the Jets?
Yes, I would give it. I would give it to the Jets before I would give it to them.
Okay, with the addition of Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, who is a star in the making, and I don't know if you heard this kid's press conference or he was talking to the press, but he said this is great for the team. He's going to push us. We're going to push him. I think this is a win-win for the Jets, and with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Yeah, I realize Dillon and Jones are.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're talking as a unit.
I disagree. I disagree. And
go ahead.
I was gonna say I disagree with you, Justin, only because their system was made for them to look good because they had a passing threat quarterback.
Right.
They're going to be going to more of a balanced offense now with A-Rod not there anymore. You don't have anybody that can check it at the line. You have a second year, third year QB. So it's just a byproduct you having a passing threat quarterback, a passing threat first offense. I would give it to the Jets more now because you have Michael Carter, you have Zonovan Knight, you have Breece Hall coming back off a breakout season, and you just got Dalvin Cook out of free agency. So you have 4 potential starting running backs all in the lineup already.
Exactly. That's my point. And here's the other thing. Between Cook and Hall, you have 2 backs that can take it to the house from anywhere on the field at any time. One of them can break an 80-yarder, guys. They have that type of breakaway speed. There aren't a lot of running backs that can do that out there. And now you got 2 of them on the same team. And the Zonovan kid, he sounds like he could be something else too. So Zonovan Knight, I think he's a little smaller, isn't he, Jabari?
He is. He's their third down back.
Right. So, I mean, that's where I'm going. Breakaway speed from your top 2 running backs. The question is getting them enough touches. Is that a problem, Mike, you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to get those guys their touches for sure. I mean, those are the types of backs that they are. I mean, I like what the Jets are doing, but I'm just not sure within that division. I look around. I mean, I just don't see them so much improved. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was bad last year. Now, we can say he did it on purpose or whatever, but I mean, he was not great last year. So I just don't know that I'm buying all this hype with the Jets.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something, boys, real quick.
I love Breece Hall though.
Yeah,
I think Aaron Rodgers in that lot. I mean,
he's also got the wide receiver Wilson. Isn't that who it is? Isn't it Garrett Wilson?
I mean, here's my thing. He was in a division that was winnable for him in Green Bay for years. There wasn't no big competition in that division. He had what more did he need? He got the number 1 seed. He got home field advantage. We did that, everything was there for them to go win multiple.
But here's the thing. He was in a division to win, but the conference was stacked. You got to understand that the conference was stacked. The Rams were running. We're talking about the Rams that went on to win the Super Bowl. We're talking about San Fran that was dogging them every season.
Right.
Then you had Philly was on the come up. You had the Lions were even starting to give them a run for their money when Jared Goff got there. Tampa Bay had Tom, and then it's just the conference was what was really dogging them. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, they were great, but the problem is the competition that they were playing. The 1 year that they went to the conference finals and got blown out by my Niners, their schedule was easy. They won 12 games off an easy schedule.
What about Seattle? They couldn't beat Seattle. There's always another team in their way to get over the hump. Now you go to the AFC
because they're not a good team.
But what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now when you go to the AFC? It's just as stacked as that.
He has a way better team. In my opinion, he has a way better team. You no longer have a young coach who's trying to prove himself anymore. Well, I guess you do in Robert Saleh, but his defense, in my opinion, is better. I think he has a better defense. Don't get me wrong. Blake Martinez, when he was there with the Packers and the others that were there, they were great. So was Rashawn Gary, their front four. Great. Jair Alexander. Great. Yes. But their secondary, aside from those people, was garbage. They were getting torched. Yes. And then you had
Russell Wilson torched them in the playoffs. Yes,
he did. So they got torched on the back end a lot in their secondary, aside from Jair. Jair's only one person. So, you factor that in, and then you basically had no wide receivers. Like you can't name to me in the last 3 years each wide receiver that had the most amount of receiving yards from Rodgers.
Other than Devontae Adams when he was there.
He was there, 2 years ago? A year ago? Has he been with the Raiders 2 years?
Last year was his first year.
With the Raiders. Okay.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago. So it would have to be him. Other than that, though, they didn't have, he didn't have. Well, he brought Randall Cobb back because he's old. He needed a Randall Cobb kind of guy.
Yeah, he's old.
I feel like if we go through, let's go back to when they lost to Arizona. Kurt Warner, and we can't say that Arizona Cardinals team. They weren't a top team. They were a wild card team. They went to the Super Bowl. I just feel like Aaron Rodgers. He's a great quarterback, but we can't sit here and deny that if you have the best quarterback, a lot of times you go on and win, but for some reason they weren't able to do it.
Well, Justin's
not free the one time against Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Don't forget, Rodgers has only had a top 10 defense once in his career, and the one time he had one, they won a Super Bowl. So you know what? I agree with Jabari that he's got a better defense.
I agree. I agree they're a better team, but I just don't think the Jets are. I don't think they're better than Buffalo. I don't think they're better than the Chiefs.
Miami.
No, I think it's. Jalen Ramsey just went to Miami.
I think the Jets win more than 7 games, and I think they finish second in the division because they're better than the Dolphins. They're not better than the Bills, and they're better than the Patriots. So no matter which way we slice it, they're probably going to finish second in the division, second or third, should the Dolphins figure it out. But personally for me, this is probably Rodgers' This is the team comparable to when he had a young Devontae Adams. Scratch that. When he had a healthy Randall Cobb, a healthy Jordy Nelson, and they were running the league, and he won MVP back-to-back years. This is comparable to that because this team is like, I don't care about all the reports in the preseason. This team is full of dogs. They've spent years building this team. So, and Robert Saleh, me knowing him as a defensive coordinator, he has a very good defensive mind. And we're not going to forget that last year on the Jets, they won like 6 games straight. They only started to fold when they started getting hurt at the back end of the season. And then you had, I forget his name, Zach Wilson as quarterback, and he's not doing anything. And it started to show because their defense was winning those games for them. It was just the offense not putting up any points. They were like second, third in defense and like the worst in the league as far as offense. So
I think Miami, we'll have to see with Miami. I mean, that's the thing. Miami's, if they end up being able to replicate what they did last year, and that defense is even more impressive. I mean, they added Jalen Ramsey. That's a big move, I think. But how long is he out, though?
I don't know. They said he was carted off the field last time I saw. So hopefully it's not anything serious.
You know, his last couple of years in LA have not been good.
He was getting exposed.
Yes, he was getting nailed. You know, so I'm sorry, boy. My God, Jabari, why don't you just come on every day?
I love football. I told you this is my sport. He's out until December. He had a meniscus. He had a full meniscus repair. So Jalen Ramsey is not a factor until December, and by that time, the seasons were already getting ready for postseason.
Place, Mike. You know what? I'll cover Jabari's bet here. I'll bet you $25 right now, straight up. But the Jets finish ahead of the Dolphins
in the division. Well, here's my thing. If they're not going to the playoffs, none of this even matters because that's why they got Aaron Rodgers. If they're not in the playoffs, then they're no better than my team, the Chargers.
Three teams make the playoffs as wild cards. So we're looking at 2 from the East, 2 from the West, and 2 from the Central.
Central?
Or I'm sorry. What am I saying?
North, South, East, and West.
I'm sorry. I'm in the old divisions. There are 7 teams that make the playoffs. So
7 teams will make it.
There will not be 2 in the North. I'm not sure whether there'll be 2.
Why can't there be 2 from the North?
But here's the thing. You know, Miami made the playoffs last year, and they went like 9-7 last year. So it's completely possible that the Jets win 9. They went 9-8 and made the playoffs. So if they win 9 or 10 games, they won 7 last year without him. So if it gets worse than 7, maybe A-Rod's just washed at that point. But you know, they won 7 games.
So what he's saying is essentially they win 2 more games, they've got a shot at the playoffs.
For last year. Yeah, it's just going to depend on what other teams do this year. You know, some years that doesn't get you in the playoffs. What do you think the
hell's going to happen this year? Lamar Jackson's going to be healthy. Don't you think Baltimore's going to win a few more games? And maybe
exactly. I think Kansas City and the Chargers are both playoff teams. I think Baltimore and Cincinnati are potentially both playoff teams.
Chargers ain't nothing yet. Okay,
they what?
They got a high-priced quarterback, in my opinion.
No, I disagree. I think Justin in due time, he just needs to keep Keenan and Mike healthy. That's it.
Yeah, that's the big thing. They've got Mike Williams has got to be healthy for them. So.
And they need a running back. I'm sorry, I'm not an Austin Eckler fan. He is serviceable, but he is not a running back. He is a pass-catching back at best.
Okay, all right, but you will agree with this. He's a touchdown machine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you're in the red zone, you give the ball to Austin Eckler. You don't try to pass it 3 times in a row and then decide to run the damn thing.
He's a good runner of the football. I mean, he's not he's good. He's not great. He's not he's decent, you know, but where he does his damage.
He's serviceable. That's it. That's all I'm giving. I'm not even going to give him decent.
Before you could talk about the Chargers making the playoffs.
Now, I will say one thing with him is even before Herbert came along, he was pretty good.
Let me finish. before your Chargers are going to make the darn playoffs, their coach needs to get his head out of the sand, okay, and up here and quit saying, "Up, fourth down, we're going for it. Up, fourth down, we're going for it."
Well,
What's that? Our 20-yard. I'm fully expecting the guy sometime to be fourth down and 20 from his own 2, and I'm going, "Yep, let's go for it."
Yeah.
I just think he's an idiot as a coach.
well, yeah.
That's not hamper you.
I mean, they're an analytics based football team, so they go off the percentages. So that's what that is. And I made a bold claim last week when we talked about where Dalvin Cook was going, and I said the Jets. I'm gonna make another bold claim, and I'm saying that Jonathan Taylor is gonna go to the Chargers. If the Colts really want to let him go, I think he goes to the Chargers. It is the only viable team in my option that he gets the best of both worlds. You come in, you get to be the starting running back. Austin Eckler immediately moves to a third down running back, in my opinion. He's never had a 1,000-yard rushing season, even in his 2 years as a starter. He has never had a 1,000-yard rushing season. Jonathan Taylor would immediately make them a better running team.
Without a doubt.
And if I'm Jonathan Taylor's agent, I want you to go to LA. No kidding on that one.
You see what Justin said?
I like that. I love the sound of that. I'll take Jonathan Taylor all day long.
Absolutely. Justin agrees with me there, Mike. He's a Chargers fan too, just like you. But he agrees with Bob 100%.
Yeah.
Woo!
We'll see what happens. Problem is, Chiefs have just dominated that freaking division,
and they will for the next 8 years. As long as Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback of the Chiefs, they will continue to dominate that division. You have my word.
Well, they were even with Alex Smith there, and then Mahomes comes along. I mean, it's getting old, guys.
And Eric,
I'm tired of the Chiefs. I have to see. I'm tired of them.
I know you are.
I'm tired of it.
They're
exhausting me.
Your son's not. He's a big Chiefs fan. Jabari, isn't Eric Bieniemy still with the Chiefs?
No, he left. No. He went to the Commanders. Did you see the report they said about him? Some of the players said that he was too hardcore.
Yes.
And I was like,
yes.
He's won how many Super Bowls? So something's working. Something's obviously working. And I'm still ashamed that he did not get a head coaching job. But still, I'm gonna be honest. If I'm a player on the Washington football team, oh God, the Commanders. I'm shutting up and I'm learning everything I can from him.
Right. Exactly. I agree with you 100%. I thought at some point in time when Andy decided he was going to retire, maybe Bieniemy would be the guy, I mean, seems to be.
Yeah, I don't know how he doesn't have a head coaching job. Yeah. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, how many, name me more football minds out there, that are any better. I mean, if my guy's got a coach, if Staley's got a job with my team, the enemy should have a job by far. I mean, come on.
I'll be honest. I think Ron retires in the next couple of years and Eric takes over that team. Because I know Ron's been battling cancer for the last.
I think Ron's tired. I think he's wore down. He's tired. I love him though. He's a great
coach.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Nothing respect for him. He's been a great football mind.
We're talking about a guy like Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid and offense and what have you. I have to go old school on you guys one time before we leave, okay? The great Don Coryell was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame finally, okay? Now, Barry, I don't know if you realize what kind of impact Don Coryell had on the NFL, but let me just tell you what John Madden said. Don Coryell is the greatest offensive mind in the history of pro football. And all of this, the greatest show on turf, Mike Martz, that all came from Coryell. Andy Reid, there are so many philosophies. When Coryell took over the St. Louis Cardinals in 74, the average passing attempts per game was 25. By the time the 80s came around, it was in the mid 30s. That's how much of an impact he had. He used to drive Tom Landry crazy because they had this defense where the ends would back off 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. They were going to stop the run. Well, you know what the Cardinals did? Coryell, he started passing on first down. They didn't do that back in those days. And that was innovative, and I had to say that. He got into the Hall of Fame. And congratulations to him. There's my St. Louis plug, Mike.
Well, he was also head coach for the Chargers for a number of years, too.
Right.
Great football mind. I don't know how he wasn't in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's dead now. You know, he's dead now. But he should have been in a long time ago. But
well, this is going to be fun with football, guys. I mean, I'm going to have a good time with this.
I'm waiting on football. That is the moneymaker. Like I said again, I put my money where my mouth is. I forgot to tell you guys, I have a $1,000 free entry on Prize Picks. Those don't expire, by the way. So I have a total of $1,100 in free picks on Prize Picks that I just have not used, and I'm gonna save them till football season, and we're gonna give away some money after we smack them.
Let's go.
Right. Cool. Let's go. You know what? I'm gonna leave everything alone tonight. We're not gonna go to Prize Picks right now.
There's nothing on there. The board has been gutted. I promise you.
I saw it. Yeah, no, I just went and looked. That's why. So there you go, folks. That's the end of the show. I'll tell you what, that was fun.
That was fun.
Yes.
That was fun.
We're going to do this again. We may bring a fourth person into this conversation at some point in time. I think we need to get Randall on here on a Wednesday.
Of course.
And see how, whether he can hang with us.
Oh, come on. If you're hanging with anybody, Bob, no, I'm kidding.
Hey, I'm the one with the friggin' cowbell, okay?
It is true. You do have that on us. Hey, Justin, thanks for tuning in and kicking it with us, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
He's just incredible.
He is incredible. He sat here and talked sports with us the whole show, and appreciate that, man.
All right, we're out. Peace.